So this session is an introduction into HR analytics and the course offered by Thoughtware Training Private Limited on HR analytics. So welcome, dear participants. It's a great pleasure to have a small talk with you people on HR analytics. I am Dr. PC Geeta and I have around 12 years of industry experience in both the government and private sector. I have a doctorate in human resource management, and I also have academic experience of treating or teaching MBA students in the colleges. Also, I am a well-known resource person in the area of HR analytics, and for the last 10 years, I have been working on various projects based on HR consultancy, or I've been a consultant in the area of HR analytics. So this is a very brief introduction about me, and in the next 40 minutes I plan to take you through the introduction to HR analytics, what is the benefit that HR analytics provides to people, provides to organizations, provides to employees, and also I will talk about the course that has been offered by Thoughtware Training Private Limited on HR analytics. So this is the agenda for the next 30-40 minutes. So be on track with me, and let's move on to the next portion of why analytics is a buzzword today. See, all of you must agree with me when I say that analytics is gaining high significance in today's organizations. Companies are looking forward for analytics. Employees want to have some kind of expertise in analytics, and in colleges, schools, everywhere they want to introduce the topic analytics. So analytics is the buzzword wherever you are. So what is this analytics? So this analytics is the use of data, and with the help of data, they try to find patterns in the data, and based on the patterns and based on the past data, they try to predict the future. Okay, they try to predict the future. So usage of data in better decision making is called as analytics. Okay, usage of data in better decision making in organizations is called as business analytics. So why analytics is growing in importance today? The data has been available long since for several decades now. So even though data was available, analytics was not growing in importance in the earlier days, for the simple reason that there was not much technology, not many people were equipped in that particular area. Also for the reason that organizations did not give such importance to analytics on the data related to the company. But today you find that every organization is fighting for a very small share in the market. So they want to capture that 1% market share, 1% customer share from the marketplace. So in that scenario, organizations do not want to take a chance. Earlier days, decision making was mostly based upon intuition, but today it is not so. Today, if you find organizations are trying to use data to the maximum to decide what type of decision they should take for a particular problem that they are facing. So today, because of the availability of technology, availability of data, and also for the simple reason that organizations have become highly sensitive to decisions backed by data. So that is the reason why analytics is growing in India today. And analytics has a huge benefit for various organizations. So, for example, you see that in 2020, every person generated 1.7 megabytes of data in just a second. And internet users generate about 2.5 quintillion bytes of data each day. So each one of you might be generating a lot of data in your day-to-day basis. Okay, so for example, you might be having 3 or 4 email accounts, for social media accounts. You might be a member of Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, Rapido, Meru. So these kind of websites, and you might also be account holder in Flipkart, Amazon, etc. So everywhere your data is being stored, and the purchase, the usage that you make in that particular app is being recorded and is being used for analyzing you as an individual. So organizations are trying to analyze your data to understand better about you so that they will give you customized solutions of their services. So that is the reason why today you find analytics growing in high significance, because we are generating a huge amount of data on a day-to-day basis. And one organization, Netflix, you must all be aware about. It's a OTT operator, and it is one of the organizations that has effectively used analytics. Okay, that has effectively used analytics, and this organization says that by using analytics, they are able to save $1 billion in a year on customer retention. So they try, you will also agree with me, if you are a Netflix user, that every Netflix user's homepage is different from one another. So based upon me as a customer, my web page is different, and another Netflix customer, his web page is different. So my web page is customized according to my interest, my taste, and the genre of movie that I see, whereas some others Netflix homepage is different from me based upon his customization or his interest. So that is how organizations use analytics to gain utmost advantage in the day-to-day being. So there might be a question in your mind: why should we? Is there actually a need for HR analytics? So people think that, okay, finance analytics is important because it results in profits for the company. Marketing analytics is important because it brings revenue to the organization. Why should somebody learn, or why should HR analytics be given so much importance? So you might be thinking that HR is qualitative in nature. So these are some of the reasons why people get the doubt. HR is qualitative in nature. What is qualitative? It is very difficult to measure. Okay, it is very difficult to measure. HR is considered as an expense. It is not an investment, it is an expense. HR is considered as a sub function and not a core function in organization. HR does not directly result in outcomes. So these are some of the very common statements that people make about HR. So in this scenario, is HR not important then? That is a question mark. I agree that HR is qualitative to some extent, but if you see in today's environment, HR is one of the strategic partners for profit making, or for ensuring that an organization reaches its goals or achieves its goals in the organizations. HR is considered as more a vital partner in decision making, and right from the strategic planning stage itself, HR is involved in decision making. So this shows how much HR has become significant in organizations, and organizations are no more thinking HR as a subsidiary function, HR as an expense. Why? Because they know that with manpower, or organizations can achieve outcomes only with the help of only with the help of manpower. And who is going to manage the manpower? It is the HR that is going to manage the manpower. So if HR is not given adequate importance, or if HR is not going to take the right decisions with the help of data, then the organization cannot be successful. So that is the reason why HR is highly required in today's scenario. Next, coming to levels of HR analytics. Okay, levels of HR analytics. So what are these levels of HR analytics? So there are 4 levels, starting from descriptive analytics to prescriptive analytics. Okay, so descriptive analytics to prescriptive analytics. So one side, we start with the basics. So whenever we have data with us, that to the past data, we are using the past data to predict the future. So before you predict the future, you have to first understand what has happened in the past. So understanding what has happened in the past is called as descriptive analytics. Okay, understanding what has happened in the past is called as descriptive analytics. Also, the next way, or the next level forward, is diagnostic analytics. So when we know something has happened, we don't stop with that. We try to probe further and find out why something has happened. So let's say, for example, in a particular organization, in a particular department, or in a particular branch, there is a lot of people leaving the organization. So you want to know why in that particular branch or in that particular department, a lot of people are leaving. Is it because of a high work burden, or is it because the boss is not very compatible with the employees, or is it because that there is some other work pressure in that particular department or branch? So you want to know the reason why. Knowing the reason why is called as diagnostic analytics. Okay. Now, with the past data, you are finding a pattern in the past data, and with the help of past data, you are trying to predict the future. So, trying to predict the future is called as predictive analytics. Okay, trying to predict the future is called as predictive analytics. Now, after you know something is going to happen, so we can say that in the last 2 years, a lot of people have left that from that particular department. So you know, if the situation continues in the same way, there will be more number of people leaving that particular department in the future also. So I don't want this to happen. So how do I stop it? I have to find out what is the problem, why somebody is leaving, and I have to stop them from leaving. So knowing that something is going to happen, if it is good, I should enhance it. If it is bad, I should stop to inhibit it. So when I take a right meaningful decision based on the past data, and I'm also giving certain information to the company of what they should do in order for something to happen or something not to happen, that is called as prescriptive analytics. Okay, that is called as prescriptive analytics. So on one side, we start with information. So information is the basic level. So with the information, we work on the data, and we try to optimize this information for better decision making. So as we move from information to optimization, we pass hindsight, insight, and foresight, and the value we get from the particular analytics also enhances. At the same time, the complexity also enhances. So both happens. Only in that scenario we will be able to get the right decisions. So quickly, you can also understand the 7 pillars of people analytics. So in the 7 pillars of people analytics, you will find workforce planning analytics, talent sourcing analytics, talent acquisition and hiring analytics, onboarding and engagement analytics, employee lifetime value and performance management analytics, talent attrition and retention analytics, and employee wellness and safety analytics. So each of this is an important function of HR. So if you're already in the HR domain, so all this would make some sense to you. So these are some of the core functions in HR, and using analytics in each and every core function is very, very significant. And that is what the 7 pillars tries to talk about. And analytics can be used in every single function of HR, which shows that it can also be made quantitative in nature. So what are the questions that, or what are the problems that HR analytics can solve? Which includes workforce planning, recruitment and selection, training and development, onboarding and engagement, employee performance management, retention, employee wellness. So if you have any questions then and there, kindly put it in the chat box so that I can address, or you can reserve your questions till the end of the session. So both is fine with me. I will quickly show you one case study where organization was able to reduce the workplace accidents using HR analytics. So you will understand the benefit of HR analytics in organizations. So this is about one organization which is called as which is in Zimbabwe, and we know that when you hire truck drivers to carry the goods to the customers, then it is very important to also reduce accidents. So the impact of accident is very, very high because it results in loss of lives, it results in loss of property, and you also have to bear the insurance cost and insurance premium cost. Then you will have to pay compensation for the driver who has lost his life and to the client who has lost his property. So this particular organization wanted to use analytics to reduce the number of accidents in their company. So what they did was they used two aspects. One is psychometric test. Okay, they use psychometric test to find out the profile of the drivers. Second thing they understood is what are the factors that result in accidents in the roads. So that factors also they try to understand, and based on these two aspects they try to reduce the number of accidents on the road. So 54 drivers were used in the particular study, and the result of this 54 drivers was a model which was used in hiring new drivers. So based on this particular case study, they were able to understand what drivers did not cause accidents and what kind of drivers the company should choose from. So they tested 54 drivers, and 54 drivers were made to undergo a fitness to drive test. They also underwent a psychometric test. Then each driver was matched with his record. So in the past, how many accidents he has made, what is his record on the road, etc. So some 6 years data was used for these 54 drivers. So with the help of this information, they created a regression model, a logistic regression model, which decided whether a particular profile of a driver is a good driver or a bad driver. So what makes a good driver and what makes a bad driver? So this logistic model was created to find out the ability of the driver to drive on the roads without causing accidents. So this is one of the some of the test results. So it shows that the age group of driver who causes lot of accidents is in the age group of 35 to 40. Okay, it is in the age group of 35 to 40. It goes on up to 60 and then it reduces. Less than 35 also less number of accidents. So that is one of the information that you can gather. Then based upon the experience of the driver, maximum experience, maximum accidents were caused by less experience, and as and when your experience goes increases, your accidents also reduce. Then if a person has a driving license, so it says that most of the accidents are caused by people who do not have a proper driving license when compared to the ones. The next one is the causing prone to road accidents. So here it shows a person possessing defensive driving certificate. So how well you drive, okay, defensive driving certificate, which is an add-on certificate that you get in that particular country. So the presence of that particular certificate and the number of accidents that is caused in that particular location. So that also shows a significance. Then with all this, they were able to come out with this particular table. So this is a statistical table. A layperson cannot understand or cannot interpret the data, but let me simplify it for you. Just look at the significant column, that is the relationship with the RTA risk. So whether a particular factor influences the accidents in the road, that is simple. So concentration is very important. Motor speed is not important. Reaction speed is not important. How reactive you are and how much stress you can take is important. Tracking deviation is not required. Visual field is not required. So only concentration is important and the tolerance to stress. So irrespective of how long you have been on the road or irrespective of the traffic on the road, you should be stress free and you should be very quick to react for a particular aspect on the road. So these two factors were considered to be very, very significant. And this model was 72% accurate in understanding or in classifying good drivers and bad drivers. So as a result of which they tried to they tried to implement this particular model in their organization, and in this particular model they also were able to reduce the number of accidents, and they were also able to decide what should be the right factors when they are going to choose the future drivers. So supposing for the hiring team or the recruitment team, we can give them a set of qualities and say that these are the qualities that are highly required in a driver. So look out for these qualities. So when you choose the right drivers into your organization, it results in lesser number of accidents. Okay, so that is how this is a case study of how analytics can help an organization to reduce the number of accidents. So coming to, is it the right, what is the scope of HR analytics in organizations? So what type of organizations should use HR analytics? So is it a small organization? Is it a startup organization, or it should be a large organization? So we saw a small organization in Zimbabwe using it. Startups are very often using it because they cannot hire HR people. So they want a common person to handle HR as well as other activities. So they find it very, very easy and handy to use analytics in their organizations. Large organizations are also using HR analytics. So whatever might be the size of your organization, HR analytics is highly significant and necessary. Next, coming to a very important question, is HR analytics meant for you? Okay, is HR analytics meant for you? So if you are a student in HR, yes, very much. Why? Because when you go in the initial days, days itself in your resume with HR analytics, you are easily picked. People will be able to find that uniqueness in you and take you up. Second thing is, as and when you enter with HR analytics expertise, it also gives a leverage to you, or it also gives you an added advantage, which will be able to reflect in the way people look upon you in your organization. Second is, it is also relevant for the existing HR employees, because analytics cannot be avoided any further. Analytics is going to be the way. If you are very much stubborn that you are not going to learn analytics, then it is your disadvantage, because organizations are really moving forward. And if you know analytics, then it's a plus point for you. If you do not know analytics, then you're going to face the brunt. HR managers require HR analytics, not for doing the day-to-day analytical work, but for taking the right decisions and also ensuring that his team is going in the right path. So that is why HR managers need to know analytics, and HR heads also needs to know analytics, because They have to see how much added advantage analytics is going to give to their organizations. So that kind of picturization or visualization is possible if you know the particular subject. So let us see how is the demand for HR analytics in HR professionals today. So this is a statistics which talks about the global HR analytics market is expected to grow at a rate of 14.2 percentage annually from 2020 to 2027. And in 2027, it will reach 6.29 billion US dollars. So it shows the growth for that particular area or for the particular domain, which will in turn result in job opportunities. So India sees a 77 percentage growth in HR analytics professional as seen in LinkedIn. And in LinkedIn, HR Kata organization in HR has quoted, this is the statistics of HR analytics in India. 14 percentage of total jobs in HR are analytics based, which means that companies are increasingly trying to arm their HR functions with analytical capabilities. So every company is trying to bring in analytics into their organization. So it is very important that they will look for people with expertise in HR analytics, and thereby it was an added advantage for you. Now, this particular snapshot was taken from Glassdoor, and this is the average salary that a HR analyst can make. And this can always increase depending upon your experience in the particular field. I have taken some snapshots of various positions in HR with various organizations. So this is an analyst HR services position in Society General, a bank. And then it talks about analyzing reports, analyzing MIS software, MIS in the organization. So tracking deliverables, using analytics in recruitment or back office process, etc. So that is about that organization. And this is a senior position, senior analyst position, HR operations in Accenture. So the skill required is HR operations level analyst position in Bangalore, and the experience that they are looking for is 5 to 8 years. If you see the roles and opportunities, it talks about analytics, HR analytics, data analytics, and storytelling techniques to enhance the journey. It also talks about the other regular jobs that a person has to do. Coming to HR business analyst, HSBC. So in this HSBC bank, the business analyst is required, HR business analyst is required to analyze the various financials for the particular department, the KPIs, and report on project management in that particular area. So this is about HSBC Bank. PwC, you talk about they talk about dashboards, presentations, tools, work very closely with human capital teams. So all this analysis, dashboards, reports, tracking people's performance in organizations, all are a part of HR analytics. And then technical skills that are required is working knowledge for that same organization. They are asking for Power BI, Tableau, then highly proficient in other softwares. Then they're looking for HR reporting metrics, compensation analysis, etc. So that is why, so I have given till now, I've given you a very, very brief introduction about what is HR analytics, why HR analytics is gaining significance today, and what is the advantage for an organization if they use analytics. So we have seen Netflix as an example. What is the advantage for them? We also saw another Namibian company which used HR analytics to reduce the number of accidents and also to decide the profile of the drivers which they have to hire in the future. So with all these added advantages, then we saw the various job opportunities for the particular position of HR analytics, and then we are now coming to the one crucial part of the webinar, that is the HR analytics program, which is offered by Thoughtware Training Private Limited. See, you will find that HR analytics as a course is not available in several places, like business analytics is available or finance analytics is available. So HR analytics is a very specific course which has been customized and tailor made, taking lot of consideration by experts and academic people and by the industry experts. Okay, so we have tried to we are providing the particular course in 120 hours. So 120 hours is a long period which will give you a very in-depth knowledge on the particular course, and it will also talk about it will also give you an added advantage on the basic data analytics tools. Okay, on the basic data analytic tools, and it will also give you a functional knowledge in the area of HR. So that is important. So what several places in they do is they only teach you the basics, or only they teach you the coding. They do not teach you how this coding or how this particular software can be applied in a particular domain. So that is where we are very, very strong. So our basic data analytic tools, so we divide the entire syllabus into two, which is part one and part two. And part one is the basic data analytic tools for 80 hours. So in this 80 hours, we give you an in-depth knowledge on data science basics, coding basics, Python, applied statistics, SQL, advanced Excel, Power BI, and machine learning. So we really grill you the entire programming part of analytics in the first part, which is handled by the domain experts, which will be handled by the domain experts who are very strong in these areas. And part 2 will be taken completely by industry experts, okay, from the industry, who are very strong in the area of HR and who have been applying analytics in their work field on a long term basis. So the part B is divided into two aspects. We give you some basics of theory and key metrics in various functions of HR, and then in section B we talk about the how analytics can be applied in different functions of HR. Okay, how analytics can be applied in different functions of HR. So this will give you not only a complete grip of analytics, but it will also tell you how analytics can be used in HR, and how organizations can arrive at meaningful decisions in HR based upon the analytics. So this is the section A of part 2 of the syllabus, where we cover the entire aspect of HR, and the complete duration of the course is 5 months and 120 hours. One important advantage is that this is not going to be a recorded session. It is going to be live one-on-one session. So we are going to have hands-on working experience, a very, very interactive session which will enable you to contribute and learn a lot from others' expertise. So section B will be a lot of case studies. We'll work on various problems, how using analytics we can solve those problems. So we will be working on lot of analytical problems in the area of workforce recruitment, engagement, performance, training and development, workforce churning. We will talk about performance management analytics. We will talk about how to reduce absenteeism, accidents, then inactivity rate in organizations, etc. So it is going to be we will also talk about visualization of HR data in Tableau and in Power BI. We will also be working and you will have some assignments to also do in this section B, which will be a part of your syllabus. Next, coming to why we should do at Thoughtware Analytics. See, at Thoughtware, quality education is the mantra, and we believe in quality education. The another aspect is there are no other people who are offering such a blended course of both analytics and functional domain-based analytics in HR. Okay, so people offering HR is limited. They are mostly recorded version, whereas this is a live version. And also they teach you, they do not combine the blend of both analytics in the functional domain of HR, which is our key area. And you're going to be coached by professional experts and industry experts. So it is going to be live to you from an industry expert who's been working in the industry for a long period of time. The syllabus has a very, very in-depth coverage of the entire functional area and also about the analytical area where you get to learn several programming languages, which includes Python, SQL, and machine learning. All these in detail. You will learn Power BI, Tableau, etc. So, which will give you an added advantage both in terms of getting a better job as well as in terms of enhancing your job in your current position. So the entire course will be an hands-on experiential learning, which is one of the most sought after things in and learning process. We also we also go only for small groups. So small groups result in a lot of interaction between the group members, and also it becomes easy when you are handling a practical paper or when you are handling a analytical paper where we are applying a lot of tools and techniques. So it becomes much easier for us, and it will also be very highly successful and efficient. So with this, I've come to the end of the session on a peek into HR analytics by Thoughtware Training Private Limited. I am open for questions. If you have any questions, you can put forth. Any questions that you would like to ask me? The program starts in a very few days time. So if you're really interested, kindly talk to our executives who will guide you further in terms of the cost of the program and the various technicalities related to enrolling into the particular program. Thank you very much. If there are no questions, I'll end the session. Thank you.